sticky, spicy honey butter, crispy, crunchy fried chicken. What could be better? And I've got all the little tips and tricks for making this fried chicken extra special. Oh, and there's waffles. Who doesn't love waffles? So first up, we're gonna make a marinade that not only gives us heaps of flavor, but also helps to tenderize the chicken. So I'm gonna start off with some natural yogurt, and the acid in this yogurt is what's going to help to make our chicken extra juicy. And then I want some coconut milk. Coconut milk makes a great creamy marinade. And now for all the spices. So I'm gonna go in with a couple of spoonfuls of sweet paprika, and this will give us a really beautiful color. And now for the spicy part. So I've got some Thai chili powder that I'm using. Depending on how hot the chili powder is where you are, maybe use more or less. I tend to go on the more side, but that's up to you guys. And then some garlic powder. I love garlic powder in a marinade because it adds a really intense garlic and umami kind of savory flavor. And then for our salty element, I'm gonna add some fish sauce. Okay, now just whisk all of that together. And now the chicken. So I am a thighs and legs girl all the way, but you can choose whatever chicken pieces you would like. Just make sure they're all covered. And now we just need a little bit of patience. Just leave these to marinate overnight. So that gives us plenty of time to make a couple of little extra bits and pieces that are gonna make our chicken even more epic. So the first one is like a sweet and spicy coconut sriracha honey butter. Even just the sound of it makes me hungry. Okay, so I'm gonna add a little bit of butter into my saucepan, and I just want that to melt and start foaming. Now we wanna add the honey. And now for the hot and spicy part. So I'm using my coconut sriracha for this one. I love this coconut sriracha. It's tangy, it's spicy, it has just a hint of coconut. Now just mix all of that together. And once all those ingredients are married together to form a really lovely, beautiful glaze, that's it, we're done. So just before you serve, make sure you heat this up because it will thicken a little as it cools. So the next thing we're going to do is make a spicy, salty sprinkle for our chicken. So I'm going to start off with some sticky rice, and I'm going to put it into a dry frying pan. And you just want to keep that rice moving in the pan until you see it turn a really beautiful, deep, golden, dark brown color. I love the smell of this toasted rice. It always reminds me of popcorn. Now I'm going to get that into my mortar, and then just use a pestle to finely ground it to a nice powder. Okay, so this is what you're looking for. This will give us a really beautiful nutty kind of flavor as well as like a crunchy texture. Now to that I'm gonna add a fairly decent whack of my Thai chili powder and then just a sprinkling of lime zest. And then because this is like an extra seasoning for our chicken, we do want some salt as well. Okay, just mix that up. Oh, I love the little speckles of red and green in that sprinkle, so good. Now I've got some chicken that I've been marinating since yesterday, and we just need to drain that off and pop it into some flour. And then just coat each piece with some of that flour. I'm just using plain flour today. Make sure we get lots of little craggly bits all over our chicken. Okay, then pat off the excess, and there we go. So now we're at the part that I love most, which is frying the chicken part. I don't know why it brings me so much joy, it just does. So I've got some oil here. Now we're gonna do a twice fry. The first time round, we're just looking to cook the chicken through. We don't need to get extra crispy and extra golden. So we don't want the oil to be too hot because I want these guys to sit in here for about, at least 6 minutes, because that way I know they're cooked through. So to check the temperature, I'm just gonna put in a wooden chopstick, and what I wanna see here are just what I would call lazy bubbles, not too furious. I want this around about 130 degrees, just so I can give that chicken enough time to cook through. And then the chicken goes in. Now, because I want these guys to have a nice even color without any hot spots, I'm just gonna keep them turning and flipping in the oil. You can see that coating already is looking very, very tasty indeed. And I am doing this in batches as well because I don't want to overcrowd my pan. So now you can see we've kind of set that coating onto the chicken. It's just a pale color at the moment. I'm going to pull it out, strain it on some paper towel, So you just want to let that chicken rest for about 5 to 10 minutes. So you can go ahead and do your other batch of chicken in the low heat while you're waiting for these guys to cool down a little. So now that our first fry is done, now we want to do the second part where we're going to get everything really crispy and a really beautiful color. So you want to crank the heat up really high, and I want to test my oil temperature again. This time I want to see lots of fast and furious bubbles. So that way I know that the temperature is getting close to about 180 degrees Celsius. So this part should happen fairly quickly. The chicken is cooked through already, so now we just want the crispy, dark golden color. And again, keep that chicken turning and flipping so you don't get anything too dark in one spot. Now this is looking amazing. Just drain those pieces on paper towel. And while that chicken is still hot, I want to sprinkle it with our roasted rice and chili powder. Ah, looks so good and so crispy and crunchy, but don't take my word for it. Let's have a listen. Sound. Let's cut one open and have a look. Ah, see, look at that beautiful coating, and the chicken inside is lovely and juicy, and listen to that crunch. Beautiful. Now you can serve your fried chicken any way you want. I'm going with waffles today. I love that soft sweetness against the crunchy, spicy chicken and then the drizzly sauce. Ah, such a good combo. So I'm gonna put my chicken down. And then I've got my warmed honey, butter, coconut sriracha sauce. Just drizzle that all over. And there you go, my friends. One spicy fried chicken dish you guys are not gonna want to miss out on. Hope you enjoy it. If you've got any comments or questions, pop them below. And if you enjoyed the video, why not hit that subscribe button plus the little bell one, and that way you'll get notified every time I release a new video. Thanks, guys.